Alright, what is up, you beautiful people? And welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl tier list. We're playing some Avatar, and looks like... Oh! We have Stronghold, Mercenary, and Synergy. Oh my god. Okay, well, Synergy makes it so that all your waves spawn at the same time. Stronghold, as you can see here, is just, you just got a base being built up here, and then we also have hybrid, which is, they're contained in here. So yeah, Synergy makes your things more expensive by like a significant amount. But if this is the case, I'm just gonna go do some Swarm Host action, because Swarm Host will heavily benefit from all of this stuff that's going on, all the buildings here and everything. Swan Laser Beam seems to be doing pretty good for itself here, but yeah, Synergy means that like your team has to not mess up as well. Well, not mess up, but like also has to be on top of their game here. But technically you can just triple hybrid push at the same time. Everyone puts down all their hybrid, and now there's like 20 hybrid on the field. That is potentially how you would want to end the game this week. But let me just stack some Swarm Hosts, I guess, for now. We got a Immortal coming out here, and we got a Manx with 1 Ling. Okay, well, that's fine. I think we have the breathing room to like just mess around. Stronghold's pretty good, pretty lenient. It's actually probably a good idea to build siege units like right off the bat when you're playing Swarm Hosts. I mean, not Swarm Hosts, when you're playing Stronghold. Sorry, they both start with an S. I'm just thinking of Swarm Hosts right now. My Swarm Hosts are $375, so they're kind of expensive, but the alternative is, looks like we're going to be up against Nova's tanks and Swan's laser beam, which means there's going to be Swan tanks. So that'll be super interesting. I think tanks might actually be able to beat Swarm Hosts this time around. We'll have to see. I'm going to put my Swarm Host down in the center. No, I don't want it center mass. I'm going to put it onto the side here, but still sort of forward, and then we're gonna gas up here. So yeah, this week it's just gonna get a bunch of structures. We got a Wraith here. Okay, interesting.
What's the plan?
I would like pressurized glands. We have our little marines here getting fried. Manx hasn't revealed himself yet. He hasn't built any of his structures. Fairly interesting. But I think with the Stronghold here, I can just keep my Swarm Host just sort of sieged up here. And our opponent has already sent out something. I'm just gonna micro this Swarm Host, I guess. But yeah, I'm just not gonna be in a panic here to like send out units. We're just gonna chill, be super relaxed, and stack on top of our units here. Because it's Synergy, so we spawn every single wave. And that literally means there's no losing here if I just keep my Swarm Hosts on top. Yeah, they're just gonna constantly generate units here. Oh, that one shouldn't have gone up. Oh god, that one went up. That one went up. That one was bad. That one made it up. Okay, there we go. Can you imagine we hit the wrong key and it was not a Swarm Host that came out? Oh my god. But yeah, since the Swarm Hosts spawn every single way, like, I mean, they're not supposed to be like this. Oh, everything is so pricey. That is true. That's the thing about Synergy, though. Everything gets super expensive. But you can see how the Swarm Hosts are there's 4 of them stacked on top of each other now. And things are only going to get worse. Our opponents have Wraiths in some sort of attempt to try and, like, I don't know, stop us, I guess. So let me see, I'm gonna put these guys down here. Gonna make it so they don't unburrow. So yeah, all those tanks are gonna mean nothing. There we go. And then let's put down some more Swarm Hosts over here. And yeah, there it is. So yeah, oh yeah, by the way guys, we are like 500 subscribers live stream specials behind. Thanks to my meteoric growth because of the weekly brawls recently that were super interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna have a live stream special for this weekend, Saturday, so it's basically tomorrow. I think it's like the Easter weekend for us, for me in Canada over here anyways. But that being said, it's like, I think I'm only going to be able to have it a bit later in the day, so it'll have to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think is probably the best time for me, just because I will be teaching still. So there's that. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's move our siege line forward here. I feel comfortable enough now. We also have some shock divisions here to protect him. There we go. So yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's when we'll do our... Is it 1,500 subscribers live stream special? I think I did 1.4K a while back. Like a week, 2 weeks ago. So I think we're gonna have our live stream special for... Yeah. Let's see, hold on. Let me make sure these guys stay down. So we're gonna have it for tomorrow. 1,500 live stream, 1,500 subs. Uh-oh. They're within range. The tanks are within range to see my swarm host. That's bad. Yeah, so we'll have it tomorrow, 3 hours, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over and play. I know that, like, for some of y'all in the European time zones, that might be a little rough. But that is the only available time for me, I think. Otherwise, we'll have it in the morning, which I also don't want to do. So yeah. Okay, so unsieging our swarm hosts, they're a little bit ambitious, especially pushing into those Nova tanks. So yeah, we'll just have to keep these guys sieged up over here, and we'll keep them sieged up over here. And as long as we keep generating locusts, keep generating locusts. I think what I need is actually tier 3 as well. Get some Vipers to really breach those tanks and push those Goliaths forward, because those tanks are, oh yeah. My swarm hosts are within vision now. Let's see. We're gonna need some more damage output here. There we go. I'm gonna put my swarm hosts over here, and these swarm hosts over here. Just never gonna unburrow. I just basically need to like reset up the siege line here. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. It's tower defense time. We're basically playing tower defense. There we go. Let's get this over here. Might need some Ravagers, actually. I don't know. But yeah, I have like a huge like army of swarm hosts just hidden in the back. I guess I'll let those swarm hosts that just came in do their thing and walk forward. So this one should probably not let that one move. Okay, so I'm gonna put down a Viper here. And there we go. With the Viper, I'm gonna get Virulent Microbes. There we go. Increase my attack damage here. Now I'm gonna let these swarm hosts move forward.
What's the plan?
So that should help a lot. The Viper, however, is using its Parasitic Cloud on the wrong things. Okay, there we go. Okay, swarm hosts do not unburrow under any circumstance. There we go. There we go. Come on, swarm hosts. Let's get them. Okay, so now that my swarm hosts are over here, we just have to contend with those Nova tanks. We have some Immortals walking forward here. These swarm hosts here should not unburrow. I'm just sort of artificially inflating the number of swarm hosts I have by keeping them burrowed down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Manx's tanks won't be able to contest Novas, because Novas have slightly longer range. Man, okay, so I cannot stack my swarm hosts large enough. Or deep enough. At all. It seems. Yeah, I can't seem to stack them deep enough here. I think these swarm hosts here are fine. Oh, never mind, they got detected. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep these swarm hosts in the back. As long as they're under the bunker, they'll be safe. There we go. I think these guys are too far back. Oh, jeez. They're breaching the bunker, boys. They're breaching the bunker. Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more Vipers here. I think the Vipers are key. And it's looking like our opponents are dropping some hybrid here, so what we're gonna do is also drop some hybrid of our own. And then drop some Vipers here. Come on. Let's get them Swarm Hosts going. There we go. I'm gonna drop some Men's. Holy. Nova has so many tanks here, just grouped up in large amounts. I think I need to tech switch into something that's not Swarm Host. My allies need to tech switch into something that's like Tempest. We need Tempest, I think. We need Tempest. Let's see. I don't know. I might need to grab some Guardians. Well, just because something's pricey doesn't mean you don't get it, guys. Just because something's pricey doesn't mean it ain't worth the money. These Goliaths will kill it. Well, Goliaths are actually not that smart, so don't worry about your Goliaths killing your Tempest. Goliaths are more worried about the stuff on the ground. Okay, so these Swarm Hosts over here. Come on, move forward with the line. Move forward with the line. There we go. Let's get down some more of these. Okay. Alright, we're breaching the line here. Slowly and surely, the line is being breached. Let's put down some more. I think we just gotta have so many Swarm Hosts. Because wave after wave of Swarm Hosts are just coming in. I think it's fine to let them walk forward now. Yeah, I'm just grabbing the Goliaths forward. And I might need some more Vipers. The Vipers are my real hard counter to the tanks. The tanks really don't do too well into the Vipers. Mostly because they get unsieged. And tanks being unsieged is like OP, dude. It's like someone comes around and unslices your bread, dude. That made no sense, but, you know, it's not supposed to. Don't worry about it. There we go. The Goliaths can't attack. They're forced forward. Drop a fatty men here. Like, the Tempests are gonna be fine. Like, they'll do just fine. In my experience, the Goliath versus Tempest matchup, unless it's like, no, like Bear Tempest into Bear Goliaths, that'll be bad for your Tempest, but like, straight up when you just pull up with a giant army like this, your Tempests are gonna have a lot of fun. For the most part. You have to drop a fat mend here. Yeah, Reaver's is going good, but the problem is Nova's tanks just outrange you, like, so terribly. Okay. Well, Manx tanks are just gonna smash it here. Yeah, like, you want someone generating infinite value. Like, tanks actually don't stand a chance against something like the Vipers. The Vipers are just a pain for all tanks to deal with. So let's just put down another Viper here. I don't know, let's see. Boom, let's drop a heal. Yeah, look, all those tanks can't shoot. You can't shoot! Their bread got unsliced. Now you gotta reslice it again. There we go. I saw that in an absurd meme somewhere, in case you guys are wondering what I'm talking about. And it was like some sort of meme. It's like something really inconvenient happens. But it's like absurdly inconvenient. That's like, huh? What the hell? But yeah. I'm not even gonna second guess, I think. I've just been putting all my money where my units are. And we're just slowly drowning them. Like, Tempests stack really hard as well. And like, they're great against the Goliaths, provided the Goliaths aren't focus firing them. We might have a bit of a hard time here, though, because they are bunkered up on their Nexus. That'll definitely present some difficulty for us. I mean, maybe it's time for me to add a few Guardians into the mix as well. Like, their air potential is pretty bad. It's like, what, Swan and Nova? Swan and Nova literally have no good air units. Like, air-to-air combat fighters. Like, Swan has the Wraith, which, as you can see, just gets clobbered by any respectable anti-air. But yeah, our opponents are going to start pushing back into us, which is why it's important that... I mean, the Guardians are... I don't know. They got, like, small range and stuff, but against the tanks that can't shoot back, they're fine. They'll do just fine. And they don't get disabled by Goliaths, because they're biological, but there's also a lot of Goliaths. So I'm not sure. So they're starting to counter stack on us, as is normal, as is usual. I'll just have to make sure my Swarm hosts stay put. If they stay put, we should be fine. Let's see. I'm gonna need more Guardians. I don't think I need a Brutalist. I don't need more units to walk into that death zone. I need units that are not gonna get shot up in the death zone. Okay. Okay. If I buy a Leviathan, it might distract them long enough as well. Okay. Maybe. Let's see. Let's have a scan of the battlefield here. Oh, there's a lot of tanks over here. That's certainly not a good sign. Let's see. Swarm hosts over here. Make sure they don't. They don't move. Let's see. Now the only problem is the Vipers cause my Guardians to actually die. Maybe I'll put the Guardians a little further back then. A few more Guardians. I think I need a few more hosts. I don't know. Is this time Yeoman gets to play? Probably. We'll see. Oh man. Come on, Guardians. Let's get some of that damage output. Unfortunately, the Guardians don't exactly shoot very fast. And the very beefy front line is starting to catch up with us here. Infinite value generation only gets you so far. Holy. We gotta stay on our base, boys. Stay on our base. That's the reason why you want to get the Tempest, because if you can dominate the air, I think, and you can smash through all these Goliaths, that'll lead to some pretty good results with the tanks on the ground. Although I guess maybe Artanis was building all the tanky boys on the ground, huh? And I've just been borrowing. Let's see. Those tanks should get a timer. I mean, they do. It's just that the timer is very long. So I'm gonna put down a bunch of these hybrid here because I'm trying to just push back here.
What's up?
Let's see. Boom. You don't see him being removed, just being stacked. That's why you need to get a stack breaker, guys. You just gotta get some explosive stack breaking power. Unfortunately, I don't think I have those explosives here. Let's see. Holy. Manx's Earth Splitter should be very helpful though, but let's see. If I get my Biomass Guardian here, hopefully they can start dishing out some real deep DPS. Although I'm not too confident about that. Holy, my Swarm hosts are getting overrun here. This might be it. Let's see. I think Archons might tank a bit better. I'm not sure. I might need more Vipers as well. My Vipers are running out. They're running out of steam. Let's get some more Vipers. I need more battlefield manipulation. Like the Swarm hosts are only just gonna do as much as they can do because they're Swarm hosts. Our lack of stack breaking potential, I think, is really hurting us though. We just have nothing that can break the stack. I don't know. Aegis Guard maybe would have been nice. No, actually no. Aegis Guard would just die. They walk into those tanks and die. They kill off the Goliaths pretty nicely though, but that'll be it. But yeah, like you can see like all these units here. I mean, do I need to build something on the ground that's armored? I'm not even sure at this point. Like those wraiths are just everywhere. Holy. Let's see. The Vipers are forcing things to move forward, but I might need to get more Vipers. I don't know. More Guardians. Bit of both. Maybe I'll put the Viper like over here in this corner, and then this Viper can be in the front, and this Viper can be over here. And I'll put a Viper in the middle. Like, I don't see how I'm supposed to push into this or push out of it. I'm not even gonna micro my Swarm Host anymore because I don't think there's any point at this point. Everything's just so close together. There we go. Come on, we're pushing back now. The tank stack is gonna be gone. I needed to gas like 10 years ago. When we were all pushed in there, I was considering gassing, but then I was like, maybe we could just end the game. But if I gassed at that moment, that would have been optimal, I think. Also, does nobody have a detector? Nobody bought a detector, I think. I mean, I didn't buy a detector. I've been scanning this whole time. Also, none of these units are stacked properly. Oh, God. Okay, so maybe like that. And then like that. And then like that. I don't know. Let's get some organization here. Let's get some semblance of organization here. Like my huge army of Swarm Hosts and Guardians are gonna start stacking up. So we gotta anticipate their counter stack, which is gonna happen inevitably. You know, the counter stack is like Thanos. There we go. I'm gonna probably save my men's here then. But yeah, like our Guardians and Tempests are starting to stack up as well. And guess what the tanks can't do? Fight Guardians and Tempests. So we got that. I think I'm just scanning just so we can get some vision. So honestly, at the end of the day, I think the scans are still... They're alright. They're alright. He's got some Phoenixes. That's a great idea, actually. To bully off some of those other units. We're gonna need some more Vipers here. Just to keep those tanks from really accessing their full potential. Let's see. But I think our counter push might be too big. I'm not sure. Let's see. But I've just been sitting on 2 gas for like most of the game, so I'm gonna be a little bit economically behind. I'm gonna save my men's. I don't know. Let's just use one of them. Let's just try and mend through it. Mend the pain away, boys. There we go. Put down some more Guardians. I think my Swarm Host count is fine. Like, Swarm Hosts are literally just here to take hits. And there it is. Is it? Is it? The Tempest and the Tempest will probably end the game for us here. There we go. Tempest and the Guardians. Guardians are like baby Tempests. So yeah. There we go. Now I won't be surprised if I took the most damage because Swarm Host. Manx just literally built nothing but Royal Guards. You know what? Good on him. He was the tank stack I think that we needed here. Let's look at the overview here. Oh yeah, I did no damage. Haha! I took the most damage though. Like with this build as Abathur, you're just basically taking damage for your team. You're not really here to do damage. You're just a giant sponge. Let's see. 90 really? I guess the Guardians. I don't have too many of them. Yeah, and then like I don't know. These roaches. No, that one has some kills. Vipers, you can't actually see how many kills they have because, I don't know, it's glitched out. But yeah, Vipers, I'm just here for utility, battlefield manipulation. Let's look at the mineral value killed. Yeah, I didn't kill anything. But the thing is, it's like, sometimes you just need someone building meat shields, right? And like, the best meat shield is the meat shield that keeps generating more meat shields. Well, I mean, well, there are some trade-offs, you know? The meat shields aren't as big. But yeah, my allies here doing the stacking. You really need someone who to really be doing frontlining. I think the Nova with all the Goliaths should have got less Goliaths and more Hellbat Rangers, or even just like hollow decoys, I think. Although the problem, I think Swan should have got Goliaths, because Swan's Goliaths don't get distracted like Nova's. Swan's Goliaths shoot up and down at the same time. I think if Swan got Goliaths, we would have been in trouble. Because Swan Goliaths, you can buy 2 of them. You can just have so many of them. Nova goes frontline because Nova's units are thick, and Swan has like Goliaths and Science Vessels. I think that would have done us in. Yes, Swan's Goliaths are fragile, but Nova's Hellbat Rangers are quite good against everything Artanis has to offer on the front. Maybe with the exception of the Reavers. and they can take a lot of hits from the shock divisions too. So I think that's probably that would have probably been optimal, I think. So let's go on to the tier list. All right, and we are back. Let's get right into it. So game plan, we're going to talk about the auras, overall strategy, and our commander rankings. Let's get right into it. So if you guys have reached this point and you're not yet sub, be sure to drop a sub. And yeah, let's keep going. So brawl modifiers, we have synergy. So all units on, well, they spawn at once. So like basically like I think like every like 28 seconds, everything just keeps spawning. So you are going to want to build around that, and Stronghold is going to encourage you to build siege units. So yeah, there's that. And then we have Mercs, which allows us to summon some powerful one-time use hybrid. So yeah, overall strategy for this week, I think you want to build lots of siege units. You want to be able to break your enemy siege stacks, and you want to be able to save your hybrid and coordinate with your team, because I think it's very effective if you just, I guess, if you really just want to grab wins and farm wins, like just you, your teammates, and then just be like at some arbitrary time, like I don't know, like 10 minutes, be like, okay, everyone put down their hybrid. And I suggest you put down the tier 1 hybrid, like the ones that like are like have the graviton prison and they have the range and stuff, because those guys won't go forward and die. Ideally, you let your units go in there and tank and die, but the hybrid add significant DPS because of their range. And they also CC units, and when they CC units, they also do damage to them over time. So I personally prefer those hybrid if you're going for a push. If you want hybrid for money, get the tier 2 hybrid, the one that's on the ground, the hybrid Reaver, I think. That one gives you the most money for energy. But let's just have a look at the tier list here. So I'm thinking here is our setup for this week. So Abathur, I think, is just going to be really good overall because of what he can bring to the team in terms of utility. So yes, you saw back there, I just became Punching Bag Abathur and generated infinite value. There were some dicey moments in that game. If the Novas played it better, they probably could have won. But Punching Bag Abathur makes it so that your team doesn't have to build any front line. I probably could have mixed in a few Brutalisks there, maybe like 2 or 3, but like they're kind of pricey, so that was tough. I also didn't econ properly, but that's like another story for like optimization. Abathur also brings in Vipers, which is probably one of like the best things to crack siege at all, like just overall. I think I probably could have mixed up some Ravagers in there as well. Ravagers would have been pretty nice. But yeah, Abathur's utility is really good. I think overall, Punching Bag Abathur plus, I mean, you could also go Guardians for Siege if you really need to. I personally am not a fan of Guardians because I think they shoot a little too slowly and they do a little too little damage for what I'm paying for. So I'm not a fan of Guardians, but I don't know. With enough of them, they'll still be pretty good. And then next we have, I think Nova is probably just so good this week because of her tanks, as you saw there with those insane range tanks. Just they're never going to unsiege unless, you know, Abathur comes along and says nope. And they'll smash through most ground units, so you are just gonna have a great time. Nova can also protect her tanks really nicely by going Hellbats, and I guess you can go Goliaths if you really need to. So there is that. Dahaka, I think, is also pretty good in the sense that he sort of fulfills he has a dual role. He can do the Abathur thing, where you just go Punching Bag Dahaka with Locusts. Although you can't micro those Storm Hosts, so they're not quite as good. And Creeper Hosts definitely are quite good. And you can also go just Stack Breaker Dahaka with Frontline, with Dahaka himself, Ultralisk, and I would say, what else is there? Impalers are actually not too bad against structures, so don't sleep on those guys either. And an Alarak, I think, is also pretty good. Alarak, though, you definitely need your team to back you up because you will be the one packing the heavy firepower. So please, 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 please tell your teammates to back you up because if they don't, you're going to have a bad time. So what I mean by that is your Wrathwalkers will get overrun, but like if you can establish a nice group of Havocs, Wrathwalkers, and Vanguards, you're just going to have the time of your life. They're just going to smash through most things. So there is that. So in the A tier, we have commanders who do these things kind of well too. You'll notice that all of them have tanks of some sort. Stukov, I think, probably has the most optimal one for this week because not only is it a tank, it also generates a unit, so it confuses your opponent's AI. Granted, though, they're quite expensive. They're even more expensive now, and compared to Nova's tanks, they're not as great. But infinite value generation that creates AoE units, and it can also counter protect itself with its little spine tentacle, makes it pretty good. I don't see Stukov doing anything else this week besides the tanks. You could go Banshees, but they're single targets, so there's not that great. And Ultralisk are... they're quite expensive. I don't think they're worth it. You might be able to bunker and tank, maybe have a Diamondback, but I think like Ground Stukov is probably where you want to be this week. With Raynor, I think your options are a bit more open. You could totally go for like the fast siege tank and just spam lots and lots of them. Although I do foresee an air battle would probably make sense. So like Banshees seem to probably be better for more situations. Because they can also protect your Vikings later on in the game and also benefit from Hyperion coming down. So yeah, Raynor, you'll probably not want to stick with your tanks for too long, unless it's going fine and your opponents are not doing anything in the air. In that case, just keep burying them. With Manx, I think Manx's shock divisions are great. He can't get as many of them as Nova, so I think you'll actually want to mix it up here. So you want to probably have shock divisions as your main sort of spending in units, and you want to get lots of Zerglings and boys to really push it. Like, they're really just cannon fodder for the rest of your wave. Not ideal, but yeah, if you're against a Nova and you're Manx, you're gonna get completely dumpstered by Nova's tanks. So actually, some Emperor's Shadows might be good because they stun mechanical units. I don't know, that'll help out your team a little bit here and there. So yeah, we'll kind of look at that. And then next in A, we also have Swan. Swan's laser beam is just going to be always on thanks to the vision from the buildings. Well, not always, but like, generally. And I think Swan tanks this week will be pretty good, Swan's tanks, because they will actually want to siege up and shoot at something for an extended period of time. So there's like less microing involved. Your allies can protect you. You can build science vessels to support your allies. Heck, you can just build only science vessels to support your allies and just meme. You can also go Goliaths at tier 3, I guess, because they can shoot air and ground. So it's like pseudo air control because it's not really AoE, so it's like not the greatest, but it's better than nothing. So I think Swan's pretty good in terms of like just being able to stack up here. And then so in the B tier, we have some commanders I think that are pretty great at breaking the stack in their own unique ways. So, well, Zagar needs no explanation. Yes, there's buildings in the way, but now it's synergy. So, like, your explosive impact is only going to scale harder and harder as the game goes on, because it's not like you push through two waves, like two different waves. You push through a singular wave. And if your allies can back you up as well, like, you can just melt your opponent's front line, and your allies will have, well, still some units in the mid line and the back line to attack your opponent's mid to back line. So you're just going to have a lot of fun with that. So I think Zagar, just build things that explode this week. Kerrigan, I think you can go two different things. You can either spam Ultralisk, and they're really good against tanks, so spam Ultralisk is not a bad idea. We'll force Nova to go libs. Or you can get Brute Lords. And Brood Lords are like slightly more expensive and worse Swarm host, I feel. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Brood Lords. But you could go Brood Lords and spawn infinite value on your opponents. They are pretty good against tanks, though, mostly because tanks can't shoot back. But yeah. And then Vorazun, you got the black hole for like a tempo push. So like you drop a black hole, you drop the hybrid, and then you just suck everyone in there. Boom. You can also go Stealth Void Rays, which are pretty strong. And toss a few Corsairs in there. The Corsairs will just sort of, disrupt, unslice their bread, disrupt the enemy tanks. And there's that. And I think Stetman's also really good if you can manage to get to the point in the game where you have enough Ultralisks that you get a free Ultralisk every wave, and you have enough Zerglings and Banelings that you just, like, I think Stetman, you just have the front line for your team this week. You really got to protect Gary. Hopefully you can protect Gary, or your teammates can protect Gary, because you get so much value off of that. I made a few mistakes where I didn't protect Gary, so Lamau. And in the C tier, we have, I don't know, like, kind of what we have going on in B tier in terms of frontlining, but also not as great. So Phoenix's frontline with the Legionnaires is pretty strong. And his backlining with Warbringer Colossus is also not bad. Unfortunately, other commanders do it better. So that's my real reasoning there. You could, however, be Arbiter Phoenix and just, I don't know, cloak everything and stasis everything, but like, you know, your opponent can just scan you. So I think actually maybe Phoenix's build this week might be disruptors, like just lots and lots of disruptors, because everything's on top of each other. That could potentially be a very good meme build, so I'm gonna try it out and see what that looks like. But yeah, Phoenix frontline, just, I don't know, not as great compared to, like, I don't know, do you want Legionaries, do you want Ultralisk, you know? That's the comparison. And then Karax is basically like Phoenix in terms of his game plan, if you're gonna just go ground. Although Karax carriers might actually be pretty good this week, but they're so expensive, so you better hope your opponent is not Raynor, because your carriers are gonna get shot down. But yeah, Karax, I think you could frontline with your zombie zealots. That's pretty good. Get some Purifier Colossus. You probably don't want Annihilators, although who am I to say? Annihilators are not too bad. But the Colossus setting the ground on fire is pretty good as well. And then we have Han and Horner. Han and Horner, I think, is probably like in the weirdest position this week, because if you want to stack, I think it's Assault Galleons, and if you want to frontline, you don't really do it too well. Like, I don't know, Grenade Cars and Hellbats are just, oh, they feel so bad. Like, Day 1's Vikings are okay, and like rates are okay, but like they're so awkward and they're so pricey. So like, I think Han and Horner really is in an awkward spot this week. I'm not quite sure what you'd do with Han and Horner this week, except try and survive and like help your team out as much as you can. And I mean, once you hit critical mass at a certain point, then, like, you know, it doesn't matter. Your Deimos Vikings will be good enough, and your race will be good enough. But I think if you want to stack, maybe it's Galleons. Because Galleons are quite thick. They have long range, they generate value, so it seems to make sense. Probably the best thing to do there is Galleons. And finally, we have Artanis and Tychus. So I think maybe I'm underselling Artanis here, but I guess Artanis can frontline pretty nicely with his, like, with your little sort of death ball with your Immortals, Dragoons, Archons, but they're so expensive, so it's gonna take you so long to start up. But once you get there, I mean, you can just keep going, and you might be able to just like tank out a lot of things. So maybe it could be good. But also your Guardian Shell is gonna be pretty effective on a hybrid push, so that might be something to look out for. Although I don't know, you could also stack Tempest right from the get-go. They're kind of like Wrathwalkers. Except, actually, I don't know. Do they really have a downside? I think if you start stacking Tempest, you might actually be pretty good. But I don't know. Frontlining with Artanis this week might be a bit tough. And with Tychus, I think if you have a lot of deep Tychus experience, you will probably want to build Nux. I think the last time we had Synergy and there was Tychus, Valkyrie went and built Nux. But Nux is going to be so pricey because all your upgrades are also increased by the Synergy price. So, yeah. But I think like Nux, just Psystorm. Nux's Psystorm is like ridiculously powerful and it stacks. I think if you do utility that way, you can do it pretty nicely. And also if you build tier 3 Blaze and be the entire front line for your team, that could work out pretty nicely as well. But yeah, this week Tychus, it's basically like, how much Tychus knowledge do you have? Because the more you know about Tychus this week, chances are the better you will have at the better chances you will have at succeeding at Tychus this week. So yeah, that's what I think for the tier list for this week. Be sure to let me know what you guys think. If there's anything you agree with, disagree with, definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. Maybe I totally missed out on some sort of synergy. I don't know. My brain's like done, partially because of last week's brawl. And all the possible combinations that you could come up with, and also, you know, end of the term assignments. So there's also that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you did, and I will see you guys on the live stream tomorrow. I mean, I guess if you're watching this at some time in the future, then I'll see you in the next video. But yeah, until then, later.
The tires. Let's light some fires. Need a light. They picked the wrong fight.